Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is originally created for August 18th, Wednesday. It's not solely set for that date, so if you're seeing this, on a different date, it's more about the message than it is the date that it was created. So sort of take it whenever you're seeing it. If it applies, great, utilize it. If some of it makes sense, take what makes sense, leave the rest, kind of thing. I do speak in broad terms because it is a broad spectrum reading, so you have to sort of figure out where it applies in your life. Then utilize, whatever's being given to you from it. Please check out the drop-down menu in any of the daily videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, information about the decks that I use. My Linktree link is in there, so if you want to PayPal me a tip or book a private reading, you can find me through my social media links and either message me at Instagram or my Facebook business page and book a private reading that way, or ask any questions you may have. Another great way to support the channel is by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the reading, and by subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. And share the video out. Share the video with friends. If you like what I have to say, please share it with your friends or in your Facebook groups or on your Instagram feed or wherever you want to share it so that others see it. Help me get the word out. Beyond that, leaving questions and comments is also greatly appreciated. All right, so let's get into this and see what the cards want us to know today. Okay, so we have interesting card for today. This is the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful card. Very much earth energy. Interesting card to have for Wednesday, only because our Wednesday underpinning for this week is that Eight of Wands, which is like the antithesis to me of the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Eight of Wands, which underpins this, is like fast, swift, decisive movement, right? Moving towards a goal. Where the Knight of Pentacles, he'll move towards a goal, but he'll move slowly, methodically, with discernment. He's not going to be rushed. He's going to take his time. He's going to weigh everything out. He is the slowest, probably, in my opinion, probably the slowest card in the deck as far as timing goes, as far as, but he's also probably the most attentive to details in the deck too. I would say that. And he's also, most of the knights to me are the most kind of, they're in service, they're loyal. That's how I look at them. They're going to do the right thing for the right reasons, albeit, in their own timing. And the Knight of Pentacles is no different than that. He probably is one of the most upstanding, I feel like. He would be the most upstanding knight above all else. A little bit, maybe a stick in the mud at times, but I would say it probably is a toss-up between, he would be slowest and most dedicated, then we would have the Knight of Cups, in my opinion. And then would come probably the Knight of Swords, and then probably Wands, as far as, swiftness, if that makes any sense. So, don't be surprised if today is a day where you're like dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You're maybe reluctant to there might be a little bit of a push-pull within you as far as seeing a goal and wanting to move towards it, i.e. that Eight of Wands energy, wanting to be directed towards it, but then being reluctant maybe, or feeling like a little bit like, okay, is now the time? Do I have everything in place? Am I ready for whatever this may bring to me if I begin to make these steps or these choices towards whatever it is that I want to move towards, right? And that's not Cups, that was Swords. Sorry. I'm just looking at yesterday's card, and I remembered that there was a little bit of reluctance with yesterday's card, and I couldn't remember what the card was, and it was the Two of Swords, which does depict a little bit of reluctance, right? Or a little bit of immobility. the the Knight of Pentacles is not necessarily immobile, but he's not going to rush. He's not going to sort of, he's going to remain grounded. He's going to remain sort of, maybe even a little bit serious or practical. And sometimes that can get in his way. But I feel like he could be a nice balance to that Eight of Wands. And because we kicked off the week with a Seven of Cups, which is that sort of indecision or confusion, we may be really careful about the choices that we make today in the midweek. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. When you have the Knight of Pentacles kind of backing you up, you have a very solid base to work from, a very sort of educated, careful approach, right? So we may be wanting to weigh things a little bit more slowly, seriously, looking at things a little bit more carefully today, and that's fine. I don't get a sense of frustration with this. I get a sense of like sort of, sometimes I can find the Knight of Pentacles to be a little bit frustrating because we may want to move more quickly. But I really feel like this is a balance to that Eight of Wands that could be underneath this. That Eight of Wands is more of a want to go, go, go. Let's do it now. Let's get there. The Knight of Pentacles is like, wait, slow up. Let's just make sure this is the right thing. This is how we want it. These are the steps we're going to take. If we take these steps, how is this going to play out? Like, these are the questions the Knight of Pentacles would pose to the Eight of Wands before allowing things to move forward. So again, we might feel a bit conflicted. But if we let the Knight of Pentacles sort of lead or prevail, although it may take a little bit more patience on our part, he's going to make sure, like, check and double check everything that's going on around us. And that's going to inform the decisions that we make so that we can be sure-footed in the steps that we take. Does that make sense? And sure-footed in the decisions that we make without, like, being hasty or not seeing everything that's going on around us. So I'm not mad at him today for showing up. I think that this is a good thing. Interesting card from the Tarot of the Heart. The rocks, to me, definitely right out of the gate give me Knight of Pentacles energy as far as being grounded, earth energy, and solid. It is card number 9, which associates with a personal sort of coming to a personal completion with a situation. This is rest and reconsider, right? So he's reflecting, this man. He looks like he's sort of, he's almost got a little bit of a Four of Cups vibe to him, where he's sitting, it could even be a Four of Swords. He's sitting kind of pondering, looking at the journey that he's been on. He's also come far up this mountainside, right? It's probably a bit of a treacherous journey. And he's now resting and sort of gaining his strength, his perspective, his awareness before he continues on. And so what I like about this is that, to me, it feels like we're on solid footing with the Knight of Pentacles and with this mountain underneath us. The decisions we may need to be making or the closing up of chapters, we're doing so in a way that is grounded, respectful, attention is being paid, I think, where it needs to be. Reflection, because I feel like he's reflecting on the journey he's been on in that card. What is this? Rest and reconsider. He's reflecting or maybe reconsidering the journey he's been on and looking at it maybe from a different perspective. And because of that, I think that it's giving us maybe a more informed perspective as to what we've been through, where we've been, and where we're heading. And I do like this. Maybe some time is needed right now. For those of you that are relating to this reading, that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from these cards. These cards don't feel like they're in a rush at all. That's sort of him being seated against that rock mountain face. It's like there's, plenty of time. Don't worry, we will get there. Let's just be very methodical about maybe the decisions we make, the endings we create, or how we go about getting there. Does that make sense? So let's look to the grounding stone. And again, too, this rest and reconsider ties into the grounding stone for the week, which is the word trust. And the Knight of Pentacles also, although he's going to be a little bit more meticulous in what he does, you have to trust the work that he does, right? And so that's the speed with which he works. And the grounding stone, okay, and speak of the devil, not the devil, but it's on Tiger's Eye, but the word is faith, which very much closely ties into trust. To me, this is about believing in ourselves, in our situation, in our path, understanding why we've been through whatever we've been through, and maybe the fact that it might serve some sort of some sort of other higher understanding, higher education. And what I mean is, like, when I'm looking at this man in the Rest and Reconsider card, he's sitting there on this mountaintop looking at maybe the climb that he's just been on, the struggle that he's sort of had to face, or the fight that he's had to put up with, maybe recently or throughout his entire life. And now it's time for him to take pause, to think more carefully, that would be the reconsider action of this card, right? And in doing so, that puts him into this sort of idea of the Knight of Pentacles, where he is careful about weighing all of his options, looking at what he needs, which direction he needs to go, how he needs to continue his climb, whatever those decisions are that need to be made, correct? So in that, we have to have faith not only in ourselves, but also faith within the journey, faith within the decisions that we make, faith within the connection that we have with our own higher self, with our own higher power or God, and faith in our, connection to spirit and whatever guides we might be working with, whatever information we're receiving, and how we utilize that information. There's an intelligence to these cards today that I feel like needs to be sort of acknowledged. There's ideally like a peace within us, hopefully within today, that allows us to touch base with this faith within us, knowing that we will be okay no matter what goes on or happens, and what decisions we make. Those decisions will be informed, they will be intelligent, and they will be sort of ideally grounded in a faith and that intelligence that will lead us in the correct direction, right? The Eight of Wands that's underneath this says that, to me, that's always a very positive card with swift movement, moving us towards something that we're passionate about or that we love. And so ideally, that's what's going on, but at a very practical, earthy sort of level. All right, that is your forecast for the day. I hope you enjoy it. Please hit the thumbs up button and leave any questions or comments. Share the video out, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry about the pulsing. It's, again, heart beating. I don't know why, but there we go. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And thank you again so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.